Now to Washington, D.C. As our Evan Lambert reported at the top of the hour, Congress voted late last week to pass a stopgap measure that would fund the government beyond October 1st, beyond Friday. But it's only a temporary hold, and it's the only item checked off lawmakers' long to-do list. Over the weekend, Congress worked on a rare Saturday session to restore funding to transportation programs after they were temporarily shut down because of the stalled vote on infrastructure. Now, members of Congress must still deal with that bill, as well as a larger social spending package, $3.5 trillion, and a U.S. economy that some are saying is on the brink of default. Representative Bill Johnson is a Republican from Ohio. He's on the front lines of these ongoing budget battles. You know what's happening inside of these halls. Really, tell us how you really feel, Bill, about all of this work that lawmakers have to do to get these legislations passed.
Well, first of all, these pieces of legislation are fraught with major concerns. Look, I think both sides of the aisle agree that infrastructure is something that we should be investing in, real infrastructure. Not social infrastructure. But what you're looking at here is a $5+ trillion social engineering spending bill that people on both sides of the aisle have major concerns about. This is not frivolous. There's over $1 trillion of COVID relief money still in the federal government that has yet to get out to the states. Inflation is going through the ceiling. The price of fuel, the price of groceries, everything seems to be going up. And this is not the time that we should be spending money that we simply do not have. And there's been very little engagement by the Democrats with Republicans to try to find a pathway forward on this.
When it comes to that social engineering, that, as you said it, but it's the social safety net, as other people have characterized it. What is the biggest issue that Republicans and moderate Democrats have with this particular bill?
Well, there's problems with both bills, and what you say, this bill, you're adequately characterizing it, because both the president and Pelosi and others have combined these bills together into this massive roughly $5.5 trillion spending package. The infrastructure bill doesn't have a whole lot to do with real infrastructure. It's a rush to green energy solutions that are going to drive America's energy costs through the ceiling, and we're not prepared for that. Our energy grid is not prepared for that. The oil and gas industry, the coal industry, the nuclear industry that provide the base load for our national energy grid, those are the energy sources right now that powers America's economy. And this rush to green, and all that's going to do is put money in the pockets of the Chinese and the Russians. It's not going to help hardworking American people, especially those that live here in rural Appalachia. And then on the bigger problem with the reconciliation bill, that is fraught with problems. You've got, and I know the parliamentarian took it out, but attempts to give thousands and thousands of illegal immigrants amnesty, taxpayer funding for abortions. Those are the kinds of things that have us very concerned. The Green New Deal, tamping down on the development and production of our own natural gas here in America. There are so many things wrong, it would take us an hour to sit here and list all of them.
You know what, you've got that right. We don't have an hour, we only have a few more seconds. But what do you think the next steps are going to be, considering that, again, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen saying that we're on the edge of default, and Democrats themselves can't agree on this? Is this just going to be a longer holdup?
Well, I think that's entirely in Speaker Pelosi and Chuck Schumer's hands. We all know the rules around reconciliation. It only needs 51 votes in the Senate. She's got to come to the table with a package that she can pass in the House. I would encourage her to sit down with Republican leadership, and let's find a pathway forward that works for the American people, not for political elites.
We'll certainly hope that bipartisan agreement is a reality in this year, this decade. All right. Thank you so much, Congressman Bill Johnson. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Well, Gerard, we have a chance